You can withdraw consent for a search at any time. That's the law. Assert your Fifth Amendment rights and keep your mouth shut. And say it out loud. I am doing a First Amendment protected activity and freedom of speech. Do your job and shut up. Quiet. I'm doing a First Amendment protected activity. Stop interfering. Stop interfering. It's a public sidewalk. I can walk on it wherever I want. Stop giving me directives. Mind your business. Jackboot thug pigs. Gonna walk by your car on a public sidewalk. As usual, police officers giving invalid directives, acting like their safety is a problem because they're scared. Don't talk to him or her. Don't say a word. Speech is not obstruction. Obstruction is a physical act. Talking to these morons. Here comes another one. God. Good evening. How you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
Just taking video, making sure you guys do your job. That's all. First Amendment protected activity.
Thank you.
Notifying the person of their rights. Most of them don't know. They can withdraw consent for a search at any time unless you have reason to search, and they should keep their mouths shut. They never learn. Pinellas County Sheriffs have been about the best in town at this. You guys are way better than Pinellas Park. You don't go overly crazy. You guys have been pretty cool, and Clearwater has been pretty cool.
How many videos you got?
Yeah, I'm starting to build them up. John Felix wants me to put up a channel and start taking videos.
Well, that was my next question. Where do you post these at, or where do you post them?
John's going to be posting them. John Felix is going to start posting them out of Palm Harbor.
He has a channel?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's one of the biggest auditors out there. So just got to tell that corporal to stop giving directives. I'm walking around his car. It's not going to change the world. It's a public sidewalk. That's why I went like this, so everybody knows. There's nothing here. Not going to hurt anybody.
Well, I mean, technically, you are in the parking lot of closed business.
They have to trespass me. They have to trespass me. This is they have to issue the trespass. Stop giving me those kind of directives. I can stand here.
If they have a trespass authorization,
If you ask me to leave, and I will walk. If you tell me to leave this property because they've told you to, I will walk off the property onto the public sidewalk. Are you giving me that directive?
No, I only referenced that because you said it's a sidewalk and public property. This is not.
If you tell me to leave, I will walk onto the sidewalk. Absolutely.
I don't care you being here as long as you're not interfering with the traffic stop.
Nope, not at all. Just using free speech. That was it. I told her to stop talking, or whoever is there. I said, shut up. I don't understand it. I said it out loud. I said, assert your Fifth Amendment right, shut up, and withdraw consent to the search. And they can do what they want after that. That's free speech.
Well, I have no idea what's going on with traffic stop.
I don't either. I don't care.
Maybe they have problem causes.
Then they do, and then it doesn't matter. I tell them all the time. The last time I told somebody, the Pinellas County Sheriff stopped searching the guy's bag. The guy looked at me and said, I withdraw consent, and he stopped searching. So that's how it's supposed to work. Understood. Like I said, every single one of these has been, frankly, you guys are making these videos boring. I'm not able to get any good content.
Sorry.
No, it's
not sorry.
You know what that's telling me, though, is that's telling me that these audits have been doing some good. It was initially, I noticed something about the sheriff that was at the last one I saw. He didn't put the guy in torture cuffs. He wasn't screaming at him. He had him sitting on a bench. He wasn't going overly crazy with the guy. He was calm, rational. And I talked to him afterwards, and he said the guy was called because he was stealing from the store across the street. But he didn't go overly nuts. I mean, it wasn't.
90% of the people I arrest are not bad people.
Right.
They broke the law. That doesn't make them a bad person. But yelling at them, treating them unfairly.
That's what I've noticed. I've noticed that you guys are not abusive.
It's not.
Unless you have to be. I haven't seen, all the stuff that you see. I'm guessing that these guys have got to literally put together thousands of videos, because I think in the last 2 or 3 years that I've taken videos, I haven't seen. They're boring.
Yeah.
Not a single case of abuse. I mean, maybe this rights thing that the person wasn't aware of, but nothing.
Well, we have all our body cameras on.
Sure. But if they don't know,
self-implied auditing.
Right. Right. Are you able to FOIA those?
The FOIA?
Can I FOIA those?
What do you mean?
FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Can those be FOIA'd in Pinellas County?
I'm not 100% certain.
Okay. I wasn't sure about it either.
Things that are not public record.
Right.
So I don't know if
they've got to redact it. Yeah, they got to redact it.
Out, or I don't know if they have the ability to do that with these videos.
Oh, I work as a computer engineer for a living. So you can blur that stuff out.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for it.
We're using to store the video has the capability of doing it.
You know what I may do is I've been working on some different AI technologies, and I may come up with one for a body cam that can go through the body cams for you and basically where there would be PII data, blur it for you so that somebody doesn't have to do it. I'm actually very, very surprised, given the state of technology that we have now, that that isn't in place. You know, I'm really shocked by
I
it.
know. I mean, there are plenty of other agencies, and I think even we have released some body cam video
Right.
as well.
Right.
I guess it just depends on the call, what it is. Like I know the sheriff has released stuff in press conferences and videos and stuff.
See, the funny thing is there's no reason with current technology this actually couldn't be streamed. And AI was connected to it with a delay, and it would block out the PII data.
It certainly can,
Right.
but streaming
Is that bandwidth attention
for public record
right
is not feasible because then we can't block. We don't have the opportunity to block out the PII.
right? That's why I said to have an AI do it for you.
Or there's certain things that we do, our investigative techniques are not public record.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Some of those things are not releasable either. So that's the issue with streaming.
Is that, are you talking about how you're trained?
Not necessarily how we're trained. Some techniques as far as what we do, how we do it.
Okay.
Some of that it's labeled investigative techniques and not releasable for public record.
Really? Okay. I was wondering about that. Just the way you talk to people, how you ask them questions a certain way. Is that what you're talking about, or
no, not
or are you talking about ways that you gather information?
How we gather information.
Ah, okay, and that would make a lot of sense. You would not want people knowing how you do that. No, that would make a lot of sense. No, like I said, almost every Pinellas County Sheriff I've encountered, you guys on like a scale of 1 to 10 are somewhere between 8 and 10. So you're just so.
I've worked for a couple different agencies.
The ones that scare me are Lakeland. They scare me.
This is the best agency training wise that I've worked for.
A guy getting knocked off his back and on the ground because he's riding a bike. I mean, I used to live in Madeira Beach. Pinellas County Sheriffs are right there. They talk to a guy on a bike. I come down. I say, "Can I give him lights for his bike?" They're like, "Sure, no problem." You know, they talk to him for about 5 minutes, and he's on his way.
At one point, we had a program that would provide like transients and less than fortunate people.
Right.
It was a program. I don't know if it was state or federally funded.
Right.
But it was like some safety act program that provided bike lights for people who. So if we stopped them, we could give them bike lights.
Wow.
But that was quite a long time ago. Every now and then,
it's too bad because it's so cheap.
Still ask me about it, but yeah.
The lights are like an LED light's like $3.
Well, I mean, we're not that far off the same age, but you remember, I know I had a light for my bike only because it was cool.
Right.
But it was the tire generated bike light.
Yep. Yeah.
off the spokes and the faster you went, the brighter.
You're not supposed to know my goddamn age.
So I was.
Oh my God, that's funny.
As fast as I can, just see how bright I get the light go.
They got the LED lights. They sell them for like $1 or $3 in the bike stores, and they're literally a piece of rubber, and they go around.
Yeah.
Now the thing I wonder is, would the sheriff's department take a donation of that stuff?
I'm sure they would.
You know, so they could throw
donations for all kinds of things.
You know, because I'm just thinking in my mind, let's say I spent $1,000 and I bought. I mean, I could buy enough of those things to probably so you guys could just hand them out.
Yeah. There was a call earlier today I was going to. Actually, there's another deputy who requested backup on a traffic stop.
Right.
And I was getting ready to pull into where he was at.
Right.
And there was a person on a trike.
Right.
No lights, and it's dark out with no lights.
Right.
And it was, I didn't almost hit him, but
right.
I could definitely see how if, somebody was on their phone or not paying attention.
Oh yeah, they do that in Pinellas Park. Oh my God.
They were hard to see.
Absolutely.
It was a dark colored bike. They were wearing dark clothing. There was no reflectors on the bike. They're coming at me, and they're going right in the road where I need to turn because they're right there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So I need to turn into there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at okay, what's happening on this traffic stop? They're like, are they fighting or what?
Right.
So I'm looking at a bunch of different things. We're just glad. I always check for the pedestrians because I know it's an issue and I don't want to run anybody over.
Right. You feel you're never gonna, no matter how long you do this, you're never gonna feel good about it.
That could have been a close one. But yeah, no, it is dangerous.
Well, you guys have. It's a thankless job, and there are officers that do it right.
Yeah.
And then there are officers that obviously do it wrong, and it's, see, I see him sitting on the car. I don't see him sitting in the back in cuffs. I don't see him at this point at all uncomfortable or being treated badly or anything like that. And that's actually what I see normally.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's what I see.
Yeah.
So what I see from videos and talking to the auditors, and I've talked to them, is very, very different from, especially the guys that are more experienced. The guys that are more experienced are just like, whatever.
There could be, there certainly could be plenty of reasons why he could be in handcuffs in the back of a car.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Like,
sure.
If there's obstruction charges,
right,
or if they're driving on a suspended
So what
license,
constitutes exactly obstruction?
It's various things, anything that interferes with our investigation, pretty much. Like if I tell you to get out of the car, I'm giving you a lawful order to get out of the car.
Okay.
If you refuse to get out of the car,
right,
I can arrest you for that because you're hindering my investigation.
But I'm assuming saying F you to you is not obstruction.
That's not obstruction at all.
Right.
No.
So, because I always thought that obstruction was a physical act. It wasn't just a, where you got to get to
act. If I tell you to do something, you don't do it. You're physically not doing an act.
As long as the order was lawful.
If you lie to me and give me your wrong name,
yes,
and I find out,
yes,
that's obstruction.
Yes, yes, yes.
I had one. Actually,
See, I've been curious about to get it from an actual officer what it actually was, versus what it was.
Yeah, there's lots of examples. I remember there's a domestic violence case where male and female were fighting,
right,
and the description of the male, like we had the description and the call notes and everything of both parties and everything.
Right.
A deputy gets on scene and the guy's starting to walk into the garage, like right in the very front where stuff is stored.
Right.
We don't know what kind of stuff is stored there, what weapons, like it's an officer safety, not only an officer safety issue, but it's also whoever else is involved, whoever else is there in that property, it's safety because maybe he's getting something to go shoot up somebody.
So you tell him to stop moving or whatever.
So say, don't go into that garage. Come here. Don't go into that garage.
Right.
And then he's not complying. So now, okay, what is his intent for going in that garage? He's not following my orders.
No, you've got to do something.
So that's definitely obstruction.
Okay.
So there's lots of different examples of obstruction. There isn't
okay.
There isn't a clear definition of what obstruction is. It just depends on the incident.
Okay. Yeah, it's I like I said, like I told you the last time I did this, the Pinellas Park guy was like, "Can I help you?" And he starts copying an attitude, and the Pinellas County Sheriff said, "Leave him alone."
Yeah.
It was exactly what he said. Did you guys get like some First Amendment audit training or something? Because your behavior is very, very, very different from the other police departments. I mean, it's radically different.
It's training.
Okay, so there is
just training in general, not specific for that. It's just you're no different than if this was a family member that came up here to say, "Hey, what's going on?"
Right. Right.
So there's no.
A sheriff told me that one time. I walked up for something that had happened, and he almost pulled his gun. He said, "He's lucky I didn't kill you." He goes, "I'm in the middle of a stop. You don't ever walk up to me."
Yeah, no, that's not good.
So what's that?
That's not good to do.
Yeah, he told me, and then I told him what had happened.
Yeah.
And this was a while ago. I'd gone over to some girl's house, and some guy comes in and tells me to leave, and I'm looking at him like, "Who the fuck are you?" Mm-hmm. And finally, this guy wouldn't let me leave. I grabbed him, threw him the other way. This had just been a girl I'd met. And Pinellas County Sheriff goes, "You don't know what's going on?" I'm like, "Not really." He's just looking at me like, you're really fucking stupid and you're lucky you didn't get your ass handed to you. So,
Was it the chick's husband?
no,
No.
it was a white girl. I gave her a ride. I didn't put two to do together. I'm not an innocent guy. I've done things in my life, but I didn't put two and two together. It was a black dude with about 8 other black guys in the place when I walked in, and it did not connect to me. I was literally that dumb. I'm not innocent, you know, but you know, I'm not an innocent guy. I've done things in my life, but
sex trade is the oldest industry in the world.
The funny thing is, and this is the thing that, so I've said this before. I said this to the sergeant over at Pinellas Park because we deal with them a lot. I live in Springwood Village 1. And I said, people have got to think you're stupid. The cops know about every single aromatherapy place, every massage parlor, every one of the hotels, all the girls that are in the hotels, what they're doing, where they are, and what their names are. I said, this is not a mystery to these guys.
Yeah.
You've got to think they're stupid. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. They've just got other priorities to deal with. So, and I assume that's the case. It's, you know what's going on, but you, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it when I have to.
In some cases, it's against the law, yes. In some cases, there's no victim.
Okay.
Even though it's a crime,
okay.
You know, they're performing those acts voluntarily.
Yeah. Now, what's going to go on with the stuff that's going on with what DeSantis just put out? Because he just put out some pretty strict stuff on the massage places now.
I have no idea.
So he put out some legislation that basically says that all the massage places now have to have patient records and IDs for every single person that comes in. They have to be fully clothed. He dramatically increased the penalties, that sort of thing. I was reading about some of that stuff, and I was like, because, you know, sometimes you read about the busts of these places. And,
there's going to be some sort of a audit process.
Okay.
And I know a lot of times when they write those bills,
right,
it's an idea.
Okay.
But it's not a full implementation plan.
Okay. So this stuff,
you know
this stuff comes out under 21.
Huh?
It's under 21.
I have no idea.
I'm guessing. I mean, are they allowed to tell me that? Is that under 21? If he's under 21 or not? Can they disclose that?
They can. I mean, they're not going to do it right now because
they're busy. Yeah, they're busy. I'm not going to. You notice I didn't start asking them questions and stuff. I know better.
Yeah.
I don't interrupt them. You know, I'll say something to the person, but I never interrupt the cops when they're doing it. You guys got a job to do.
Yeah.
And I remember in St. Pete, because I asked them, I made fun of them. There was like 3 or 4 of them. This one guy in a car, it was this older black gentleman. And I started making fun of him for it. And I found out, so the sergeant walks up, you got something to say it. I put my hands like this, and I go, am I free to go? And he looks at me, and he goes, you're not being detained. You can leave. I said, see, these guys can't do fucking shit. I go away. Now, I'm not carrying a camera or anything. Didn't realize what was going on. I went and I talked to a sergeant at the St. Pete Police Department, and I said, why are you doing that? And he said, do you know how many times somebody's come up to us and how many of us have gotten shot or hurt or attacked from other people when we're doing a stop by ourselves?
Yeah.
And he's like, we don't know who the F you are. See, this is also something that concerns me a little bit about audits. It concerns me a little bit about audits because right now this is pretty.
There have been shootings where people have used phones as guns.
Right, I've seen those. I've seen them, but they're kind of.
No, they hold your phone just like that.
I've seen one that looks like this.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, like
it's a gun.
Like, yeah, you hold your phone
right
like this, you're getting shot.
That way?
Pretty much.
No, it's a
camera. I mean, I know it's not a gun, but you know, if you think about how fast things happen, if it's low light,
okay.
Like obviously, you know, I see you're doing that, but
I pull in, I go under a bright light.
I mean, there are times, you know. Like,
every time I do this, I'm always like, if the cop isn't looking, I'll speak. I've done it a few times. I said, hey, I'm behind you. He turns around, he sees me, and I'm just, I don't notice I'm not, I maintain a distance and that sort of thing.
It's good you do that, but if you're behind him, you're taking his attention off the.
I understand.
And who knows how many people are in the car? Maybe there's more people in there. Maybe they're a threat. We don't know.
I understand.
So then you're pulling his attention away from the threat.
But that's not a crime. If I'm on the sidewalk.
It's not a crime, but it's not considerate of what we're doing either.
Right.
Instead of coming up behind, approach from the front.
Okay.
So now he can see both.
So the fact I'm doing this, he's a lot more comfortable with than when I walked around the car, and now he has to look over to see me. I can do that.
Yes. Now we have two things that we have to.
I think where I am now is probably pretty comfortable to these two. They're not, lifting my shirt up. I'm standing here. I'm not. See, what I want to try to do is, my ultimate is not to interfere at all, get the video, catch some interesting stuff that's being done,
sure,
and then be able to comment on it.
Yeah.
That instead of and I think the misconception is that there's the confrontation stuff with the police is actually not as interesting as.
Yeah.
And like I said, with the Pinellas guys, it's just not. The sheriffs, I might do a couple more at the sheriffs and then just stop doing them because I think I've gotten, other than talking to you, I think I've gotten maybe 3 to 4 minutes. I was able to show a couple instances. I told the guy, shut the fuck up, withdraw the search. He did both.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing about it is, so you're some transient guy. They said you stole. Let's say you didn't. Let's say they have no proof that you did it. So it's a $3 item.
Yeah.
Cops come, they stop you, you refer to search, you keep your mouth shut. They go do their investigation. They can't prove anything. They let you go.
Yeah.
You decide that you want to open your mouth and talk. And there's been occasions that people talk where they actually didn't do anything, but got themselves into trouble when most of the time you pretty much got them. It's
well, there's been plenty of times, I stop people and ask them, like, hey, like, you just come from the store? It's either yeah or no, but, there's descriptions are, right, here's the thing about witnesses.
okay. All right.
They're unreliable.
Okay.
And I can give you a firsthand experience of why that is so.
Okay.
And actually, it was here local. 1-8.
You're not getting bitten right now?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no answer.
Okay. I just
Trust
wonder.
me, I've done this long enough. I'll check as I'm walking up.
Yeah, I'm like looking at you. I've stood on there before and gotten eaten. That's why I asked you.
The construction down there with that overpass that they're building on 118.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I was working a detail there at one of the intersections where the construction crew was directing traffic.
Right.
Unfortunately, the person directing traffic got ran over and killed.
Oh, God. Wait a minute. He did what? I'm sorry? What did he do?
Ran over and killed.
What was he doing?
He was directing traffic because they would commonly move. It's a 4-lane on the ground.
Okay.
They would commonly shut down one side of the road and move all the traffic over to the other. So now you have east-west.
Was this a worker?
On one lane. It was a construction worker.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right?
All right.
Right? He had on the hard hat,
right.
LED,
right.
reflective clothing and everything. He was directing traffic.
Okay. Oh, God.
Because it was an intersection. There was still north-southbound traffic going.
Literally the most dangerous job I can think of.
Yeah, that's one of the most dangerous things we do is direct traffic.
Right. Right.
So he was directing traffic.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he got ran over.
Okay.
And there was so going eastbound, there was one car.
Okay.
And then the second car.
Yeah.
Was like a big box truck. So he was elevated. He had an excellent point of view.
Okay.
He claimed that the construction worker ran in front of traffic.
Bullshit.
That was me running to the construction guy.
Oh, God.
To give CPR and like check, life status and stuff.
Okay.
And call for help. That was me running to him.
Okay.
The guy was in the intersection the whole time, directing traffic. But here's a witness who's driving, who is looking at the guy, giving directions, telling him to stop.
Who hit the guy?
Another car that was coming.
Okay, so it wasn't the box truck that hit him. He just observed what was happening,
Yeah.
but didn't see the actual accident.
He saw it happen.
Oh, he did?
He saw the accident happen.
Oh, okay.
He's driving this way, the car ran
But
over,
he thought because you were running over afterwards that you were the guy that got hit.
It's a stressful, traumatic situation that the brain doesn't always know how to process,
Okay.
especially under stress. And the brain, it's just a standard response to a stressful situation.
My girlfriend was killed by a drunk driver pulling out of my driveway in St. Pete. And I can tell you that how I remember things and everything else is very, very different when I talk to my roommate about what actually happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand.
So
he did 15 years, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah. Third DUI.
So stressful situations,
I don't drink, by the way.
It causes your brain to react and not necessarily process. And then under the stress, now, through all the chemicals that release in your body through those stressful situations,
right?
Your brain will fill in bits of information to try to make everything make sense.
Okay.
So for this guy, what made sense was a construction guy ran in front of the car that was coming, ran into traffic, basically.
So what do you do with the guy? So let's say did the guy that hit him stop?
He did stop.
Okay. Now, it's going to seem kind of crazy, but what do you do? So, I mean, other than obviously we want blood work to make sure the guy doesn't have alcohol or drugs in his system. I mean, I think the most common thing that's happening now is the guy that was the driver.
Yeah.
I have a headset. So if I'm talking, my phone is on the side, my headset's on. I will pull over before I touch my phone.
Yeah.
But I see it all the time where everybody is they're literally driving with their, you've got to see this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a 12-year-old boy that got mowed over by a truck pulling a load up on 19 near Klosterman. I believe the guy was on his phone, traffic stopped as it normally does. He didn't see it till late. He slammed on his brakes and swerved off to the side of the road.
Can you get a warrant for the phone?
And he ran over a 12-year-old boy with his dad a little bit behind him. He's tragic.
But you can't get a warrant unless he was texting. There's no way you can tell he was using the phone. Is that how that works?
Right.
Okay, so he could have been looking at Facebook, or he could have been reading his texts and not actually sent something.
He could have been looking at his maps. Who knows what, I mean, he could have been looking at anything.
What can you do when you drive you drive by somebody and you see them doing that? What can you do?
So it's you can call it in, but
what can you do?
Me?
Yes.
I can stop them.
What do they get?
They can get a ticket for I forget what the actual statute is. It's not using hands-free device. There's also a statute for distracted driving. There's a few different that.
What's the one that's like the worst that you could do? Because I'd really like to see people. I don't mean if they killed somebody. I mean you personally observe them doing it. What's the worst you can charge them with?
That just a moving violation.
See, that's what because to me that is as bad as reckless driving.
Sure, or DUI.
Yeah, literally, I think it's worse than DUI.
I agree.
And that's the kind of stuff that I actually want to see the cops doing.
Yeah.
So, I've done this so far with Largo. They've been the same way too. Largo's like a 9. I think the last one I did with Largo, they were a 10. I actually went to the Largo Police Department. I talked to the lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't an actual audit. I just saw people sitting there, and he's there with a kid and his dog. And I said, I'm coming up behind you. I told him, I said, I'm armed. Is that okay? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. you know, I was getting out of my car and I was next to the stop to go into the store. And I asked him, I said, do you mind? You know, I said, I'll secure the gun in the car. He's like, okay, put the gun in the car. And then got out and asked him if I could get water and, you know, for the kid and his dog.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, go ahead. And then I asked him what was going on, and he told me.
Sure.
He said, yeah, the father doesn't have a license, and unfortunately, I have to arrest him. So, like I said.
Is waiting for a ride?
Yeah, so it was, you know, the kid was just sitting there. I mean, it was 90-something degrees out.
Yeah.
But, as I said, it was... I think the simplest thing is you guys are being gaslit. That's basically what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
The police department and what is actually going on and what the reality of the situation most of the time is you guys are being gaslit.
How do you mean?
It's gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're gaslighting, making up stuff that is just complete, absolute bullshit.
Well, you mean
The cops themselves are being the media, First Amendment auditors. Sure. They're gaslighting the cops, basically to try to create content.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
I thought that's where you were going.
Yeah. So
yes.
What is actually going on and what the reality is,
yes,
is very, very different from what is actually going on.
Sometimes, yes.
And most of the time when I've talked to him, they said the sheriff used to talk to a guy that works SWAT. And he said that over 90% of what the sheriffs deal with are domestic violence issues. That's what he told me. He said, we actually don't do very much traffic.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case or...
we have no mandate to do traffic.
But what are most of the calls that you get?
A lot are domestic violence, for sure.
Okay.
That's the majority of the calls. I don't have the numbers.
How many deaths are you dealing with now with regards to the drugs?
A lot.
Because I talked to a Largo cop. He told me literally somebody dies on me every day.
I'm not personally dealing with it every day.
You carry Narcan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I have used it once and had to give CPR on a guy that overdosed.
Now, when you do CPR, do you do the mouth-to-mouth part too, or do you have a bag? Or
it depends on the situation.
Okay.
Like the guy that got ran over, I mean, he had blood come out everywhere. I'm not doing.
There's nothing.
I'll do some chest compressions.
Okay.
But with the other guy, with the overdose guy, we have a mask that's got a one-way valve.
That's what I was asking about. Yes, that's what I was asking.
Do CPR for our safety.
Okay.
So they don't regurgitate into our mouth.
Yeah, well, watching you guys get sick or die because of
and it's happened.
A drug addict.
Yeah. There's been officers who have revived, a child who was drowning in a pool.
Right.
And they threw up in his mouth. He ended up getting an infection in his lungs, and they died. Oh, God. That's happened.
Now, I assume if you get cut or something with blood, you guys go to the hospital and they do the, what do they call it?
If there's an exposure incident, yes.
They give you the 30 days of prep?
There's it depends on what the problem is.
Okay.
So they will have the person who exposed us tested to see what they have.
Because you got 72 hours after that exposure.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you.
So so we have a whole protocol in place there.
Okay. What is your name?
Stouffer.
Robert. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Really, very nice to talk to you.
Likewise.
Been going to the gym quite a bit too, huh?
I go a little bit.
What gym do you go to?
Planet Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to they didn't the sheriff's office have one in the you guys have your own
gym, and yes. And I used to go to that. When I worked at the office, I would just go have my lunch down there.
Okay.
And then just eat at my desk afterwards.
Are you doing these late night shifts a lot?
Oh, that's the only shift I want to work.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to do days. It's too hot, too much traffic.
Is it quieter or is it busier? I mean,
it varies because day shift is just opposite. Day shift, you start off slow.
Okay.
Because either everybody's just waking up or everybody's just going to work.
Okay.
Like not a whole lot going on.
All right.
Until The people who don't have jobs start waking up,
Okay.
like late morning, early afternoon. Then it starts picking up. Then people say, "Oh, this happened to my car this morning.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until I get home from work to report this."
Okay.
You know, so they'll wait till they get home from work to report a lot of stuff. So the evening gets busy on day shift.
Okay.
On night shift, it's the opposite. We start off busy.
Okay.
Right. We'll get busier towards bar closing times and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then it starts to dwindle down a little bit.
That's the part that
So
actually scares me, to be honest.
Now
That
we
really
have time
scares me.
to start typing all the reports and get all that.
And you have a DUI task force that's separate, right? So when you pull the DUI, the guy comes in to take care of all your paperwork and everything, so you can keep working, right?
We can do both.
Oh, you can.
Yes. Yep. Any deputy can do a DUI.
But what I was asking you for is, when you get a DUI, is that going to keep you there for 2 or 3 hours? Or
Possible.
okay. And I'm not talking about with death. I'm
Yeah.
talking about you just pulled somebody over.
Sure.
Do you have to do all the paperwork, or do they have a separate person that you? I've heard some departments had a separate person that would come out to do that.
It varies.
Okay.
So it depends on how many DUI people are working that night.
Okay.
If they're not already on DUIs, like are they available to even come take the one I have?
Right.
There is a time constraint. So
Okay.
can they get to us in time to even start that DUI investigation?
Okay.
So there's a lot of factors that go into play.
Okay.
If there's some nights we don't have the DUI unit working.
Okay.
So we have to do it.
Okay.
And then there's other times they're just busy on other stuff.
Okay.
Or it's going to take too long for them to get to us. So we just do it.
Okay. I think it's probably the most important job you guys have.
So it is.
I've got a very personal connection to that, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, after seeing somebody get killed, it's very, very personal to me.
Yes.
I personally observed it.
Yes.
I opened that door, little trickle down, she was dead. Had no idea.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Never seen it in my life. It was nothing like I expected.
Yeah.
You know, eyes closed, couldn't tell.
Yeah.
So
I'm very sorry you had to go through that.
I think it's a little different from when I grew up.
Sure.
So in my small town, cops would
the
cops would follow the guy home from the bar.
Yeah.
If the cop knew you, he'd yank you over. He'd say, "Get the fuck out of the car. Give me your fucking keys. You're walking. Come get the keys in the morning."
Yeah.
I mean, it was but the streets are dead quiet. There's nothing going on. It's, you weren't seeing and hearing about the DUI deaths and stuff that you hear.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a small town with, I grew up in Wethersfield, Connecticut. It was a small town, knew every one of the cops.
Yeah.
It was a very different world.
Yes. The culture.
How cops get treated was different too.
Yes, very. And the culture, how everybody perceives DUIs is a lot different now than it was then. Like, it's more of an issue now. People have more of an issue in it because of people like you who had to go through a very tragic incident like that.
I think how people are driving when they're drunk, and I think some of that stuff changed too. Sure. There is no excuse for it. I don't drink at all. I quit 100%. I will drink spiced eggnog. I'll have one glass on Christmas. That's my drinking for a year, to give you an idea.
The sheriff has a policy. If we get popped for DUI,
you're done.
On spot.
You're done. You're done.
So, I mean, that's even harsher than all the other.
Assuming they find alcohol in your blood, or obviously.
And if we refuse everything,
you're fired anyway. You're fired anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. If that's the suspicion,
right,
we're done. So unlike regular citizens,
but I'm assuming you can take an Uber and go to a bar and tie one on, sure, and take an Uber home, and it's not gonna.
Designated driver.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's not we're not being unrealistic about it.
No. We're being held to a higher standard.
Yeah, well, I expect that.
You can't go around, being DUI yourself if you're going to go arrest people for it. What sense does that make?
I kind of expect that. I noticed that one of the things I've been doing is I've been following cops around too, and just taking my car, following cars, sure, seeing what's going on, and the driving, you guys travel established routes and you drive normal. I had wondered, people had always said, they're driving 90 miles an hour and they're breaking all the laws. No, they're driving. It was what I figured. On duty.
On duty?
On duty.
Yeah.
So I followed them from I followed some Pinellas Park guys from a stop where they were dealing with some homeless guy. I drove around with him maybe 20 minutes, followed him, and then I took off. But his driving was absolutely perfect, no issues. And I've done that a couple times. And like I said, what I'm observing and what the reality is very different because